Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura. Today I thought I would show you all of the books and things that I got for my birthday. I'm not going to show you all the things I got for my birthday. I got some like spatulas and stuff. You don't really need to see that, but I did get quite a lot of bookish things. I do tend to get a lot of books. So I'll just show you what I've got. So the first book that I got is The Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham. I got this from my parents. It's a science fiction novel, I believe, about alien plants that take over people, and if you were asleep or blind at the time, then you were kind of saved from being taken over. I don't really know. This title was on my wish list, and the reason that I wanted it was because my mother had spoken of it. She said that she had read it when she was younger and had really enjoyed it. And this was sort of a new revelation, the fact that my mother had read science fiction as a young person. I'm not a big science fiction reader either, but my mother tends to read a lot of nonfiction and a lot of like Christian romance and stuff, so just the idea of her reading science fiction is just, it's so bizarre that I had to know what it was that she had read. And the fact that she liked it, so it was a recommendation from her, so I'm actually looking forward to it. I've seen it on quite a few people's booktube channels, so I think it should be good, and I'm looking forward to reading it this year. So my sister got me 3 books. There once lived a girl who seduced her sister's husband and he hanged himself. There once was a mother who loved her children until they moved back in. There once lived a woman who tried to kill her sister's baby. These books are all by Lyudmila Petrushevskaya, and from what I know about them, which is very little, is that they're kind of modern folk tales. So hopefully they'll have some sort of like a gothic element to them. They do kind of sound like they're up my alley, but I think for the most part they're more up my sister's alley, so I'm thinking that she probably bought them with the intention of reading herself, but you know, I don't mind. You know, we do share bookshelves, so yeah, so those are some new titles that I'll be reading this year. A title from my aunt, which I actually have read before, is Hitching Rides with Buddha by Will Ferguson. Will Ferguson is a Canadian author. He's written a lot of nonfiction titles, and I have read this before, as I said, and I actually really enjoyed this book. I've read it a few times, and essentially what this follows is, I believe it was he was spending a year or something teaching English in Japan, and he decided for like summer break, or spring break, because this happens in the spring, he would follow the blooms of the cherry blossoms by hitchhiking across Japan from the very southern to the very northern tip. This is just sort of his journey going across Japan and getting picked up by different people, and the people that he talked about and the conversations he had. And what was really, I remember kind of funny, is that every time he got picked up, essentially that person would say, "Nobody picks up hitchhikers in Japan." So it was just kind of a funny account of his time in Japan. Another book from my sister is Jane Austen's Selected Letters. These are letters that she wrote to her sister. I actually haven't read these. I've read most of Jane Austen except for Lady Susan and her Juvenilia. I'm a big fan of Jane Austen. My favorite novel of hers is Northanger Abbey, which is her first novel. And so my sister knows me quite well, that this is something that I really enjoy. And this is the kind of classic that I like, and I really kind of enjoy Jane Austen's wit and humor and sarcasm. So I think that this will be a really fun read, and I'm looking forward to it. For my parents, I got East of Eden by John Steinbeck. It's a pretty thick classic novel. I've never read anything by John Steinbeck, but I've actually been really interested in reading East of Eden for a couple of years. This is attributed to a manga series that I have read, so if you have any idea what manga series that is, please leave a comment down below. One of the plans for this channel is actually to read graphic novels and comic books and manga, and then kind of read comparative classic literature and discuss them. So I am planning on talking about East of Eden and that title sometime in the near future. My sister-in-law got me The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo, or Marie Kondo. I don't know if that's an English name or Japanese name. At any rate, she gave this to me. She said that she typed in all of the lore keywords that she knew, and this title just kept popping up, and it kept following her everywhere, and she kept seeing it in stores, so she eventually just grabbed it because she felt like she had to buy this for me, and you know, it's appreciated. I'm actually probably need a lot of help in this area, so I will be flipping through this one pretty soon. So this was quite a surprise to me. My father got me this book. It's Pepita Inoue meets Gaudi, and essentially it's an art history book as well as a travel book, kind of combined, by Takehiko Inoue, who's the author of Vagabond and Slam Dunk, and he just happens to be my favorite manga author, so it kind of is perfect for me to have this, as well as the fact that it's basically an art book about art history and sort of his appreciation of Antoni Gaudi in Spain. And something you don't know about me is that I studied art history and museum studies at university, so kind of perfect for me, really. So I'm really looking forward to reading it. It's not very long, it's more of a simple coffee table book, but the fact that Inoue actually took the time to write something like this just makes my little heart so happy. So happy. So I really love this, and I'm super excited about reading it. And the next title I got was Sumi by Takehiko Inoue. Essentially this is just an art book of his illustrations from Vagabond, but they're all the Sumi illustrations, so the ones that he uses ink wash painting. Most of it has to do with the fact that he uses it in hair, but it is so incredibly, look at it. It's alive. He's so incredibly expressive. It's amazing. This is a really beautiful art book. It was kind of funny when I opened it. My nephew was really excited because he thought it was an adult coloring book, and then when he discovered that it wasn't, he didn't understand why I would want a book that was just full of black and white pictures. But I really do love art books, and especially ones that are beautiful like this. So I think that's it for my video. I think I did pretty well. I've got quite a few titles that I was interested in, and some new ones that I think they weren't things that were on my radar, but definitely some that I will be interested in reading this year. I think the first title that I'm going to start with is East of Eden by John Steinbeck, just because it was something that I've kind of was planning on reading right away, and the fact that I got it for my birthday is great, because I was just going to go and buy it if I didn't get it for my birthday. So yeah, that one's going to happen next. But if you have an idea of what I should read after that, or if you have any comments on any of the titles that you saw, then feel free to write it in the comment bar. And I think that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one, which should go up pretty soon. It will be another haul video though, so be forewarned, except for the next video will be mostly manga because I went shopping. So I'll see you next time. Bye.